everybody, it's Alexis. Welcome to Blind Woman Recommends today's video, and happy Wednesday to all of you. So as you can see right now, my background is dark. Like, you probably can't see my face. Last time I showed this to someone, when it was like dark, they could not see my face. But then again, I was also in my bed, so I don't know if that changes things. I'm right now in my rocking chair. I'm hoping you can still see me through the camera, but I don't know. I'm choosing not to turn on my lights, and I'm thinking it might be dark outside, but I don't know. I'm not turning on my lights today because the day I'm recording this video, it's actually very warm. It's, I don't know, it's probably about 90s, 80s. I don't think it's gone down to 70s yet. So because it's very warm, the light bulb, when it's on, emits a lot of heat and the room gets extremely hot. It's actually, I know, like, when people come in, they'll say that this room is actually really hot, but it's actually really cool for me right now. So I want to keep it that way, and I don't want to turn on a fan to insert extra background noise. So the first thing I want to say is I really hope you have watched the previous video, because as you can see from the title, this is part 2 of my recommendations list for after reading Meet Cute Diary by Emery. In my previous part, if you have watched it, then you'll know that I did a reading list of like 9 books. I have a bunch of things that I would love for you guys to watch, mostly anime, all with one theme or another of hope or inspiration, or like in general. I have a bunch of anime, and I don't know how to describe it. I have a bunch of anime, and some of them are going to, okay, sorry, I need my Braille note touch for this because I have this stuff written down because it's so many. Some of them I feel like I'll be questioned on, but I don't know. We never know, guys. I mean, we never know. I feel like I'll be questioned on a couple of these because some of these, but I don't know yet. Anyway, let's begin with the watch list, because my last video was like 26 minutes long, and I already feel like there's gonna be about 20 minutes or longer. So the first thing I want you to watch is an anime, and we know it very well as Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay, hear me out. I'm specifically recommending the original Yu-Gi-Oh!, the Duel Monsters one. But Yu-Gi-Oh! Has a bunch of spin-offs as well, like Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds? I think it's called 5Ds. Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc B. It has a bunch of spin-offs, and I like a few of them. I've watched a couple of episodes of GX. I really want to watch 5Ds because it sounds so cool, and motorcycles. And after I watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Bonds Beyond Time, I was in, people. I was in. But anyway, Yu-Gi-Oh! The original that I'm recommending, I feel like everyone pretty much knows it, but the basics of the original comes up like this. A boy named Yugi has this thing called the Millennium Puzzle. He ends up defeating due to certain events, he ends up defeating the duelist champion in the entire world, Seto Kaiba, and he captures the interest of the inventor of Duel Monsters, Maximilian Pegasus, who basically duels him in the shadow game for like 15 minutes, and because Yugi loses, he ends up taking his grandfather's soul, forcing him to go into the Duelist Kingdom tournament. And from there, his story kind of develops, and it gets very interesting. I want to say that I have watched the American version. I have watched the Americanized version mainly. That's the only version I know. I watched this dub. It's probably not. From what I understand, I feel like the names are somewhat different. Like, I think there are some names that are a bit different, and Yu-Gi-Oh! So that much I know, but that's as much as I do know. So I like this series. There's a lot of things about friendship, and it can get as honestly, it can get a little bit annoying at times because you have to hear a lot about friendship and a bunch of speeches on friendship. However, I do think that this series is something I would watch or would want to watch or really would recommend people to watch after reading Meet Cute Diary, because Meet Cute Diary again has a really big theme about hope, which is the reason that our main character has this blog. So it also is very inspirational with its speeches. It's very very interesting. The next anime is Dragon Ball. Yeah, hear me out on this one again too. So Dragon Ball, honestly, any series that you watch from the Dragon Ball franchise, even even GT, with its issues, because I actually do like GT with its issues. I do enjoy GT. I think GT is like a guilty pleasure. With its issues, even with its issues, I enjoyed it, especially the ending. But basically, even with its issues, I think that GT is a good series. But Dragon Ball, no matter which one you watch, can be very inspirational, very interesting to it has a lot of it's very inspirational to me. It definitely inspired me a lot, and it was interesting to learn to watch Dragon Ball, especially. And when I watch it now as an adult, I still feel inspired when I watch Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, GT, and even Super, especially Super now. And I feel I'm only familiar with the dub because I'm not able to watch the Japanese because, well, um, I would need to read subtitles, which I'm unable to do, being blind and all. Usual VIP issues. But that's okay. That's okay. I enjoy it anyway. And you know what? I take your word of those for those of you who do watch it subbed, because you guys tell me interesting stuff and I like it. I'm sorry. I know how I sound, but that's okay. So, um, so yeah. Anyway, so yeah, the do so yeah, I do love this series in general. And Dragon Ball the original especially holds a pretty place because it's a good place in my heart because it's so adorable. It's a cute series to watch. But basically, Dragon Ball kind of like the main series starts off starring our main character Goku, who meets Bulma because she crashes him with a car. And then because she was looking for the Dragon Balls, which are 7 magical orbs that grant you any wish that you want. And once you summon the dragon, when you gather them, and basically since they do that, that's their main thing, and due to that, they kind of they eventually Goku, they both go on an adventure with, and Goku gets to learn more about the city and everything. So he pretty much learns about the city because he was very much further from the city, so he didn't grow in the city, so he gets to grow. And it was and it was very interesting. We get to watch his journey all the way from there to DBZ, in the anime, because I know that in the manga, Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z were one thing. So from there, and then Super, because GT technically isn't canon. So, but I still kind of like it as a guilty pleasure. But yeah, it's interesting to watch. The next thing I would recommend is Fruits Basket. Whichever one you watch, whether it is the old 2000 one or the reboot, it's still good. They're still good. They still hold the same message. The only difference is that um in the new version, it's a little bit closer to the manga, and you get more questions answered. Because I remember when I watched the 2000s version, I had so many questions, and I was like, this is like, I picked it apart a lot, but I still loved it so much. But Fruits Basket follows our main character Toru, who ends up uh, camping in this land because her grandfather's house was going through re what is that called, renovations. Oh yeah, renovations. And and everything, and she ends up there, and eventually she ends up living with the Soma family, and she finds out that they are cursed to turn into one of the Chinese zodiac animals if they're hugged by the opposite sex. And from there, we watch her form friendships with everyone, and we follow her as she basically keeps a secret, as well as, makes these friendships and we watch her along with everybody else kind of like, learn and change and, be in each other's lives and help each other out, because it's not just her changing anyone's life. Everybody is kind of, changing each other, and it's an adorable series. Watching Fruits Basket is like walking into Hogwarts. Like, Fruits Basket is okay, wait. No, yeah. I'm right. No, Fruits Basket is the anime Harry Potter, in my opinion, along with Warren High School Host Club. But I think that Fruits Basket holds a big place in that. Like Fruits Basket and Oran High School Host Club, which I actually I am recommending after this. But Fruits Basket and Oran High School Host Club are anime Harry Potter to me. It's like if it's like when I watch any of those, I really feel like I'm in a place and I feel so welcome, and so it's like walking home and feeling like everything is going to be okay. Like those two anime just feel like everything's going to be okay. The world sucks, but when you're here, you're going to be okay. That's what I feel when I watch Fruits Basket and even Oran High School Host Club. Like it really is that way. The way I feel about it is that way. But as crazy as that sounds, it really does feel that way for me. But Fruits Basket is very hopeful, very cute, very, very interesting to watch. And whichever one you end up watching, whether it is the reboot or the original 2000s, I think you'll be very happy if you're interested in something like that. Like, I love it. Since we were talking about Oran High School Host Club, Oran High School Host Club is the next one. And if you have watched any of my previous reactions, I will be linking my Blind Woman Reacts playlist or series. But like, I've reacted to 5 episodes on this channel so far. I will be reacting to all 26. Do not worry. I know it's not close to the manga, but honestly, Oran High School Host is amazing. But for those of you who have yet to watch this and stumbled across this video, basically, Oran High School Host Club follows the story of Haruhi Fujioka, who walks into an abandoned music room looking for a quiet place to study. And there she meets the members of the host club. And she accidentally, however, breaks a very expensive vase, and she has to work for the host club in order to pay for the debt. There we follow her journey in the host club, as well as her making friends with the members of the host club and them helping out other people, as well as helping out each other. And it's so adorable. It's so cute. It's amazing. I love this anime so much. I really do have high everything for this anime. I really love it. But I pretty much talked about it when I was talking about Fruits Basket. So I'm gonna skip my craziness on it. The next one is Violet Evergarden. By the way, Violet Evergarden is on Netflix. So it's a Netflix original. It's a great anime. You should watch it. I'm really just saying. Violet Evergarden follows our main character, Violet, who basically just came out of war. And she was basically a weapon at war, you can say. She was basically kind of a weapon. Except that the person that she was with, treated her like a person, as people should. And basically, she ends up becoming an auto memories doll who's basically someone who writes letters for other people. And she's trying to figure out what the last three words that her commander supervisor said to her mean. And those last three words were "I love you," and she wants to understand it because she basically is she in the beginning she basically does not understand any emotion. She doesn't know any, she doesn't understand feelings, she doesn't understand any of that, and she's trying to understand what those three words mean. So she becomes an auto memories doll, and through her journey as an auto memories doll, we watch as she begins to comprehend people and the way she changes their lives and the way she learns from them as well. Watching Violet Evergarden is honestly a really emotional journey. I love watching a lot, and I still watch the movies if I can find them. There is one season and one special and one movie on Netflix, as far as I know. There is, I think there's supposed to be another one, but I haven't seen it yet. So I'm gonna try to, if I find it, that'd be great. But basically, it's a it's a beautiful series. It's a very emotional journey. It's kind of it's hopeful in the fact that you can learn from other people, but also we can learn via communication with other people. It's a very hopeful series in that point. And I love it because of that, and I appreciate it for that. I found myself I don't know how to explain, but I guess I found myself like thinking when I was watching the series a lot. I found myself really thinking about a lot of things. And I don't know, I feel I like it. The next anime I would recommend is actually it's an Italian anime, and that is Winx Club. This one I Winx Club basically, okay, I'm gonna try to explain the plot here. Actually, before I start on my little reasons why I'm recommending it, Winx Club follows our main character Bloom, who lives on Earth, but due to events, discovers that she is a fairy, and she ends up traveling with her friend Estella to Althea and magic and basically the fairy realm. Now, I want to say this. I would recommend watching the original series rather than the live action that Netflix has cooked up, because if you want to get the full experience, the original is the best. Fate the Winx Saga is Fate the Winx Saga. I watched the first season, and it's actually really the concept is interesting. I'll say that. The concept is interesting. And I want to watch season 2 just so I can watch a bit of a train wreck to see how it's going to happen. But also because I'm curious to see how season 2 is going to work out. But also, if it... Basically, Fate the Winx Club is supposed to be an adaptation, a darker version of Winx Club. And what they do is they take part of the main concept, make it darker, but make it less interesting. So if you want to get the full experience, watch the original Winx Club. I honestly feel there's a lot of friendship in this one. There's a lot of focus on friendship. And that is where always the hope lies, in friendship, in a group of girls. And I think that's a form of hope, and I really like it. So I let it I'm recommending it for that reason. The next one is Avatar: The Last Airbender. I feel like this one's obvious, but I'm gonna try anyway. So basically, Avatar: The Last Airbender, for anyone who has not watched it, and if you haven't watched it, I want to know why. Is it you just haven't been able to, or like you just haven't found it interesting? But let me know in the comments. But for anyone who has not watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, basically, 100 years before the series takes place, there is a war that got started by the Fire Nation, and they started basically trying to prove that they're the best. And the Avatar pretty much disappeared when these things eventually when these things are happening and stuff like that. But basically, 100 years later, our two brother and sister Katara discover that discover the Avatar Aang in an iceberg. And the Avatar is the only person that can master all four elements: water, air, earth, and fire. And he is the only hope to stop the war. And in order to do so, he has to defeat the Fire Lord before Sozin's comet's arrival, which is basically it's explained in the show, but basically before this arrival, it's basically by the end of summer. So we watch him learn. He's an airbender, so we watch him learn water, earth, and fire. We watch his journey as well as him trying to defend people, making friends, and we watch his journey, and it's an amazing to watch. I would totally recommend it. Aang is a very hopeful character, and he is the most peaceful person ever. He is a very peaceful person. So, yeah, and in all the hope, there's always hope for something when things happen in that series, and I love it. I love it for that, and a bunch of other things because it's an almost flawless series. It's almost flawless, literally. I would give it 4.5, but it's like almost flawless. So the next series is The Dragon Prince, which is kind of like, I feel like it's kind of almost like Avatar, but not. But basically, The Dragon Prince is about these two. These two siblings. What's his name? Cal. All right, I forgot the older brother's name, but these two siblings, and they encounter this elf because she was trying to assassinate their father, and their country, along with the other five kingdoms, is kind of at war, not at war, but like it's sort of like at war with the magical beings of the continent, and basically they encounter this elf who is about to kill who was about to assassinate the king because of the fact that they killed the dragon king and the egg, and only to find out that the dragon egg is still alive. So they are hoping to deliver the dragon egg to the dragon queen in order to stop the war, and that's where their hope lies, in a dragon egg. And through that, we kind of watch their journey. It's a wonderful series. I think it tackles interesting themes, and I like it for that very reason. The next one is Shira and the Princess of Power. And Shira and the Princesses of Power is basically is an anime, a Netflix original anime that is basically a reboot of the original Shira, which I have not watched, but I do know it came out in the 80s, I think. But basically, it's a reboot of that, and they what they did with that is they kind of did a reboot, and it's about we follow our main character, Adora, who originally starts off in this. She's originally part of the Horde, which is this army who has been taking over these different kingdoms in this planet. But she eventually finds out all they've done. She thinks it's they're fighting for a great cause and everything, but eventually she realizes the things they have done, and eventually she changes sides, and it's found out that she is the legendary Shira, who is basically meant to help them and save them from the Horde. But she basically finds that out, and she forms an alliance with another the princesses, and we watch her try to form an alliances with all the princesses in order to defend the planet. So it's I enjoyed watching this series. There's hope in the fact it starts off with the hope that because the Princess Alliance, they can they're able to, they're able to defend the planet. So basically, there's a lot of hope in the alliance when they're doing it, and it's an interesting series to experience. I think it was definitely a good series. I never watched the old one, so I don't know. The next anime I want to recommend was supposed to be my last, but I just thought of another one I really want to recommend. So yeah, another thing I want to recommend. So the next one is The Seven Deadly Sins, another Netflix original anime, and this one is interesting. So a princess, we follow Elizabeth, who's a princess who goes on a quest to find the seven deadly sins, who are these knights that were originally accused uh, of a crime, of killing. I think it was one of the Holy Knight commanders, and she is hoping to find them in order for them to help her get uh, the throne back from the Holy Knight, so that they can give back to her father. And she finds the first knight, Meliodas, kind of by accident, and then they all go on a quest to find these knights. It feels kind of this anime feels, I feel like, kind of medieval, because they're fighting like, there's like no technology. It's just them and the gods and all that stuff, and whatever, and things that's happening, because there are gods and demons. It's really interesting, but it feels kind of medieval in like the music and it's a fantastical thing, and it's really interesting to watch. So the main thing with this, there's a theme of hope here in the princess, because she's hopeful that they will help her, and they do. But eventually things get a lot more interesting. But she still has trust in also our main character Meliodas, which is interesting, and it's a lovely thing to watch. The last thing I want to recommend is an anime movie called A Silent Voice. This one I want to mention might be very hard to watch. So if you, so we follow. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna give you the plot, but I'm gonna give you an idea. I keep saying show for a reason. Sorry guys, I'm recording this at 9 at night. I'm sort of losing it just a little bit. So basically, we follow our main character, Shoya, who attempted suicide at some point in the movie, and but basically, we follow him sometime after that, when after he attempted that, and he ends up looking for this girl named Shoko, who is deaf, and he used to bully her in school because of her deafness, along with a couple of other kids. And we watch him kind of the right word I think would be he tries to make amends, and we watch him along with Shoko kind of go through a couple of different things in their lives. We watch their story as it goes. It is a very emotional movie to watch. I watched it twice, and twice I cried. If a movie, I usually only cry once in everything I watch. If a movie can make me cry twice, it's emotional for me. It's a very emotional thing. It also might be really hard to watch for people, because again, there is I would say to be careful when you're watching. There is content warning for suicide, that I would give. I would also give it a content warning for bullying, and also I know it's not a content warning, but just because also because if you are disabled, being bullied because of your disability is hard to watch in a movie. As someone who was bullied because of my blindness, it's hard to watch, and you really want to protect Shoko when you watch it. But yeah, it can be really hard to watch because it is very emotional and very and it doesn't pull any punches when it gives you that, when it shows you what can happen, especially through the end, and how bad things got for Shoko. So I would definitely, you know, if you're not able to, if you can't watch it, I would definitely not do so. Only do so if you're able to, because this might be really hard for people. But at the end, there is hope for understanding of people with disabilities, and as well as, you know, hopefully people will eventually understand more of Shoko. And Shoko does eventually understand everything at the end, but also there's also some hope that Shoko will not blame herself for things that occurred like she did in the very beginning of the movie. Oh wow. I just realized that both of my recommendation videos for Meet Cute Diary ended in really emotional recommendations. Yikes. Okay. Well, guys, thanks for watching, and thanks for staying through this possibly really, really long video. If you were able to stay through this long recommendations video, thank you. I'm glad I kind of split it into two parts, because I feel like I would have been a 15-minute recommendation video if I recorded it together. But thank you for staying through this part 2, and I hope you guys agree with my watch list. Here's a question: if you have read Meet Cute Diary, what would you recommend for people to read and or watch after doing so? Let me know in the comment section below. If you liked this video and found it interesting, give it a like and subscribe and share. I really appreciate all the support. And if you're interested in Meet Cute Diary, I will have, if I am able to, an affiliate link for the book. Unfortunately, I cannot have affiliate links for everything here, I think, because I feel like it would fill up my description, and I won't be able to write a full description if I do. But if you are interested in this book, I will have it. It'll be an affiliate link. If you make a purchase, I do make a small commission at no cost to you, and I really appreciate that if you could help me out with you make a purchase on that, if you are able to do so. If not, I understand. And with that, I will see you next week with a review of All Systems Red by Martha Wells. I may see you earlier, but if I don't, I'll see you on Monday with my review on that. So yeah, see you soon, guys. Bye.